Hello, my name is Leon Kolaski, and I'm here with a good friend of mine, Christy, and wanted to kind of share with you her little bit of a healing journey that she had after working with me several months ago on some health challenges that she has been dealing with for some time now. So, welcome, Christy.
Hey, it's so great to be here. You've really helped me a lot this year.
Awesome, awesome. So, kind of the way I wanted to start things off is maybe you could share, just some of like high level overview of what was going on with your body and maybe just a little bit of what you had tried and how long that was going on for.
Yeah, for sure. So I've just always had autoimmune issues. So I've always known that there was a link with gut health. So I have been working on my gut for a couple of years now. I cut out gluten. I had done all these different protocols. I did the medical medium. That helped. But it's kind of hard to upkeep and maintain because that's a lot of juicing, and I don't always have the time for that. And so basically, I always knew that I had something with my gut going on. And a few years ago, I got diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome and histamine intolerance. So pretty much I couldn't eat any foods that were high in histamines, which is literally everything: meat, dairy, fermented foods, aged foods, tomatoes, kale, spinach, chocolate, literally everything. So my list of foods became really small, and I had foods that I could eat, but I had to keep it to that small group of foods in order to not have a health flare. So that would look like inflammation, eczema, rashes all over my face. And so I have been trying to heal my gut so that I could increase my histamine tolerance because, yeah, it was just causing a lot of rashes, brain fog, POTS. So I was dealing with fainting too a little bit. And that had been going on for a couple of years. It's something I had my whole life, but I got diagnosed with it maybe 4 years ago, like right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so when I came to see you, I was having one of the worst health flares I've had in the past 10 years.
Mhm.
And basically, what ended up happening was I didn't realize this at the time, but I was so stressed. I was going through a really stressful event in my life that the stress was what was a main trigger for me, but I
Mhm.
didn't know that. So what ended up happening was I was getting migraines almost every day for like 6 months, the kind of migraines where you're throwing up too. So I was
Okay.
throwing up almost every day for 6 months.
And so
And
how long ago was it that we did the session or sessions together? I forget.
I think it was May and now it's November.
Okay.
So, yeah, but from December 2023 to May of 2024, it was like the worst health flare I had ever had, and part of it was coupled with gastroparesis. So I would get a migraine, get gastroparesis, which basically meant I couldn't digest anything. Even my safe foods, even the most basic foods like potatoes or blueberries, like I could not digest anything when I would get these migraines, and each migraine would last me like 4 days. So I was pretty much just throwing up all the time. I lost like 15 pounds and I just couldn't keep any food down. And I was going to neurologists, I was going to gastroenterologists, I was getting lots of lab work done, and they weren't really that helpful at all. They were just like, get your stress under control and go to therapy and leave your stressful situation so that you can try to, get it together. So basically that went on for a long time. Had to end up leaving this stressful situation, which was my work, but then it was still very stressful.
Sure.
And yeah, then the time I went to see Leon, I really wanted to work on my gut health because I thought if I just focused on that, then I would be able to eat more and tolerate more. And at that time, I was barely eating anything at all, maybe like one arugula salad a day. That's all I could keep down. And
Yeah.
so my intention in our session was to be able to eat more and also get my appetite back because I just had no appetite at all
Mhm.
for all those months. So I remember after the call, it was so crazy because I've also always struggled with interoception. So that's like getting signals from your body. I just never feel hungry. I never have, even if I do like
Sure.
fast or I don't eat anything, my stomach does not grumble. It just does not. And so after our session, It was crazy because literally immediately after, my stomach was growling, and I hadn't felt my stomach growl in years. And I
Shit.
was just so ravenous, and I started eating everything and able to keep it down and got my appetite back. And now I've been eating a lot. And so I started getting healthier and getting all that weight back.
Yeah. And so beyond just getting the gut, sorted or, really um kind of a miracle, with considering how much stuff you had going on. After that happened, what else did you notice that shifted for you outside of just that?
Like everything. Everything shifted and it was a lot, but thank God I was at least able to eat and, have some form of regulation to deal with all the changes. But I think another one was also stemming from gut health and mast cell issues was POTS. So I would be basically fainting or getting really close to fainting, and I would just have to wear compression socks and drink a lot of water. So you know that feeling when you stand up too fast and you're like, whoa, but that was me like all day throughout the day, every day. And so after that call, I realized my POTS got a lot better, which was very bizarre because it was also the summer. And my cardiologist told me that like summer is the worst for patients with POTS.
Hmm.
And it was summer, it was super hot out. I wasn't really drinking much water and my POTS was gone. So that was really crazy. And I remember telling my cardiologist, like, I think I healed. And she's like, are you kidding me? In the summer, she's like, you're my only client that's okay right now. So that was really cool. So that was another one of the health things. And then I feel like just after that in general, like my relationships with people started changing. I started having boundaries. I started cleaning up my energetic boundaries. I started asking for my needs to be met and like speaking up for myself, I guess. And so it kind of sorted out a lot of areas of my life where maybe I was, playing victim or playing small. So
Hmm.
yeah, now I can take up more space and have the energy to do so.
That's so cool. And we were talking even before we started this video, just what a big difference I noticed in just your overall energy and your complexion, face, and everything is shifted in a positive direction as well. So way more than I think what you originally came to me for. So that's just the
Yeah.
magic of when you're dealing with the energy and working with like the root thing, what's possible, especially when you're dealing with magic and miracles. So,
Yeah, and it was crazy because during our session, I didn't really know what to expect, but I'm open, so I had this huge realization come through. It was really interesting. It was towards the end of the session when we were in the meditation, and basically the realization is that I am provided for because I guess for a long time I've kind of had an issue of like not feeling okay or not feeling safe. And it just kind of allowed me to feel like a kid again, I guess, and go, oh, I guess the universe does come through for me, especially because around that time I had just left my job and was job hunting and I was so stressed, like, what am I gonna do? So I got to really feel that feeling that I had been missing because I had to start working when I was really young,
mhm.
unexpectedly. So it kind of like had me in survival mode for a really long time. So just letting that feeling in, I was like, oh, this is what that's about. And I think, isn't that kind of up to par with what the gut is about energetically anyway?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times too, I mean, gut stuff could be any type of trauma could be stored there. Sometimes it could be not forgiving, somebody for something that they did. It may even be something that you don't even remember. And sometimes then, all that energy gets kind of jammed up and, because it's in a lot of the lower energy centers of the body. And then, what it does is, it just keeps you stuck, right? And that's in all areas of life. So it could keep you stuck, spiritually, financially, relationships, and so, by, getting that all cleaned up, we had a, really profound session, then, it just basically allows you to, experience whatever the highest version of, that your soul wants to kind of express itself, right? So it really allows you to open up to, and even relationships, you'll notice a big difference where they kind of smooth out, right? Like they get better, or just sometimes people will spin out and those relationships will be forced to shift with you or, spin out, which is okay too, so. Yeah, it was really cool just seeing you because we've kept in touch probably at least every 3 or 4 weeks, since you've had the session, and just seeing the profound shifts in trajectory for you on all fronts was really cool to be a part of. So
Thank you. I appreciate all your encouragement along the way. It's definitely been a big thing, food in my life. So being able to feel solid in that and actually eat enough and not be malnourished has been great. So I have more energy now for sure.
very, very cool. And so what would you want to tell somebody that is thinking of working with me on the energetic side, either for their health, relationships, or finances?
I would say to do it, like I think there comes a time in your life where you have a problem and you feel like a solution is coming, and then something appears before you, and you might think, oh, is this it? Is this the solution? And I think if you have that feeling, you should really go for it. That feeling is there for a reason. And I'm personally someone who's very touchy about my health. I don't just go to anyone, like all my doctors are at USC. I'm very touchy about that because I just grew up with health issues, and I myself had never done an energy healing like this before. I had done Reiki before, but not something like this. And I'm very hesitant to even tell someone about my health issues. So saying that, I trusted you to do this is really saying a lot because it makes me feel very vulnerable for someone to know these things about me. So I think, you're a really trustworthy person, you're a very gentle person, and you have no judgment. So I think it's just amazing to be able to be in your presence and see how fast this works too, which is just crazy and mind-blowing. So I would say if you feel that call, go for it. Even just get on a call to, feel it out, like have a little consultation call about it, send your questions in because I've been going to some of the best doctors and they have not given me the answers. They have not been preventative. They've just kind of had the approach of, well, when it gets really bad, then we'll give you some meds. And so it's rare to find somebody that has that much care. And yeah, it feels really good to be taken care of, I guess, like that.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story. I look forward to using this story to help others, regardless of what they might be experiencing. So thank you once again for doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.